Morning, bright and early Monday morning, and you find me in the beautiful St Ives in Cornwall, where I'm about to pick up another milk float. It's one I haven't driven before, and it should be an interesting trip because I've got 330 miles to do in her. So I give you the Citroen C4E. It is a Citroen C4 with a milk float engine in it. That's it. So, quite nice inside, leather interior. I'll get you in there in a minute. Looks like a C4, just a bit chunkier. Like a C4 that's had some steroids for breakfast. So, anyway, let's get inside and see what the range is. Right, here we are, inside the C4. I mean, lovely seats, very comfy. Quite a nice layout. Not too keen on the sat-nav, but yeah, it's all right. And there we go. The classic French heads-up display. A piece of perspex they reflect the speed onto. First appeared in the Peugeot 3008. But nevertheless, here it is in the C4. And the most important thing, there you go, the range. We're on 80%. We're on 170 miles. Except, Citroen openly admit that that's not right. In this car, that is the optimum range that they give you. Hang on, it's just gone down a mile. There you go. I've turned the batteries on and it's gone down a mile while we're talking. Oh, that's genius. That's based on optimum conditions. It's dry today, so I won't have the wipers on. It's daylight, so I don't need the lights on. But it's not that warm, so that may affect it. So, 170 miles it says. I've got 330 to do in this. That should get me to Exeter. However, let's get on the road and see what happens. Okay, so here we are live in the Citroen C4E. So far, I have done approximately 45 miles and used 90 miles of range. So, not the most auspicious of starts, I think you'll agree. But, here's the jeopardy. I'm just coming past the Bodmin turning. Now, I know it is 64 miles from the Bodmin turning to Exeter. I've got 79 miles of range. So I've got 15 miles to play with. There are very few chargers between here and Exeter. So, this is the chance. This is Russian roulette with a milk float. Will I get there? I'm down to 78 now, so I've got 14 miles to play with. So, this is what you have to consider. You know, I've been driving for less than an hour. I've only done 50 miles, and I'm already having to think, well, am I going to get there or not? Because then I'm going to have to charge up. And I know there's superchargers in Exeter, when they work. And I know that the only ones on the A30 in between here and there are at Okehampton, and they're super slow. And if you go on Zap Maps, it comes up with somebody's house. Well, I don't get that. I don't get how that works at all. So, I'm going for it. I've just got down to 74 miles. I've just dropped 4 miles in the past 30 seconds. That's worrying. But nevertheless, oh, you can see the speedo. Oh, I best stay within the speed limits, didn't I? Otherwise, somebody will be commenting again. However, right, in its defence, it's a lovely little car to drive. It's just so easy to drive. Its steering's nice, seats are lovely, it's very, very smooth. It's a nice little thing. I quite like it. But ultimately, it boils down to, what have I been thinking about for the last hour as long as I've been in this car? Am I going to get to my destination? Or not even my destination. No way am I getting to my destination. Am I going to get to the destination where the charging point is that I need to get to my next charging point, to get to my next charging point, to get to my destination? That's what I've been thinking. And you can't think about anything else because you're constantly thinking, am I going to get there? Am I not going to get there? Am I going to get stuck? Am I not going to get stuck? Is this range right? Is this range not right? I don't really know. How are you going to tell? Can you afford to risk it? Can you afford not to risk it? It's going to take me more time. And really what you should be thinking about is, there's a car in front of me. I need to keep that car a certain distance. Or you need to be thinking about what you're doing. But you don't. You can't help it. You just think about whether you're going to get there or not. It's just... So, anyway, the long and the short of it is, while I've been talking to you, I've done about 2 miles, and my mileage range has gone down by 7. I now have 70... So it's just gone down another 2. I'm now down to 70 miles. And I have roughly 60 miles to go. So, it's going to be tight. And I'm going to have to make a decision in a minute whether I stop at Okehampton for yet another stop, which will be on a slow charger and take me longer. It's now down to 69. It's dropping like a stone now. I'm on the A30. So there you go. Another milk float. Same dilemmas, same shit decisions to make about how long it's going to take you to get anywhere. And I'm still none the wiser, really. So watch this space. The next video could well be me on the side of a road waiting for the AA to turn up with a generator to plug in. Or it could be me in Okehampton. Or it could be me in Exeter. Who knows? Stay tuned. Right, here we have the reality of the milk float ownership. I couldn't get to Exeter because I've only got 24 miles of range left and Exeter's 30 mile away. So I've come off at Okehampton. And I'll put in the sat-nav, electric charging stations. It comes up with 2. One is at the BP services I've just left, the Genie Point. Couldn't find it. Asked a very nice lady who told me that they did have one, and Genie Point just came and took it away one day. And they haven't bothered to update their maps. So that one doesn't exist. Which, when you've only got 23 miles left, isn't ideal. The other one is apparently just up here on the right hand side. It is an Instavolt. Instavolt are the ones that supply all the big power supplies to all the services. So I thought, oh, that one will be ideal. Turns out it's actually somebody's B&B, and it's their own personal charger that they use for their B&B guests. So that one's no good either. So there you go. You consult the map. It tells you where to go. You go to those places and you can't charge your milk float. So now I've got 23 miles to go. I'm now headed in the wrong direction, back into Okehampton to charge up, hopefully in a car park somewhere down here on the left hand side where there is a charging point apparently. So all these people that say, oh, you plan ahead and you work out where you're going to charge. Yeah, I did that. And it still don't work. So now I'm headed in the wrong direction. Wouldn't happen if it was petrol or diesel. I was just at a service station. I'd be on my way by now. But I'm not. And of course it started raining. And it's a bit mizzly, so the lights are on. So that's not helping me range either. So, good old milk floats, you can't beat them, can you? Well, you could beat them with a stick. So I'm now off to find a charger, and it'll probably be a nice slow one. So I'll probably spend a couple hours in Okehampton wasting time and costing everyone money, because that's the future of my arse. See you in a minute. So there we go. I've come back down the road. There's my charging point, Scottish Power one. You've got to download an app. Install the app, install your details, get a verification code, wait for that to come through, put that in, then you're good to go. Nice quick thing. Hang on. I hope it hasn't stopped charging. The screen's changed. Let's go check. Because I'm now, I'm just randomly in a car park. In the middle of Dartmoor. Oh, there we go. There we go. Right. Come on, screen. Oh, it's disappeared now. I need to get that back. Come back. Charging screen. There. Charging complete in 4 hours and 50 minutes. It charges at, there you go, look. It's charging at 26 miles per hour. Take that in, people. Take it in. Drink it in. 26 miles per hour. 26 miles per hour. That's the speed it charges at, not the speed the car goes at. So I've got to wait here for about 30 minutes to put enough in to get me to the next charging stop at Exeter so I can do a full charge. Now you see it, don't you? Now you're starting to see why I get so teasy. This is a joke. So I've spent half an hour to get here. I'll spend half an hour here, and then I'll drive up the road, which is about half an hour, and then I'll stop for another 3/4 of an hour to get enough charging to go on to my next charging point. Future, this could be the greatest video ever. Right, I made it to Exeter with 11 miles to spare as it happens. For some reason I should be happy about that. But it's the Easter holidays, so Exeter services is it's a living hell. It's complete carnage here everywhere. Every single charger is full up all the way down, both sides. And even half the Tesla ones are being used. So you can tell that people from up country have more electric cars than people around here, because this place is normally deserted. So I've been on the road, if you can call it that, for 3.5 hours. And I've done 120 miles. And I now have another 50 minutes to wait before I can go on again. So we will be 4 hours, 4.25 hours to do the first 120 miles. 30 mile an hour. That's weird. 30 mile an hour is what every single long journey in a milk float seems to go at. 30 mile an hour. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. But, so there you are. I am now waiting to charge up again so I can move off again. I'll leave Exeter and then Lee Delamere maybe. That'd be nice. I mean, any further than that, if I could get to Membury, that'd be the stuff that dreams are made of. Chieveley, I can't even imagine what it's like to get to Chieveley. I ain't never getting to Chieveley. So there you go. That's it. I'm sat here again, as you can see, for another 42 minutes now. That's life in a milk float for you. The day just gets better and better. This is class, this one. I'm now at Membury services. No, I'm not. I'm at Lee Delamere. I wish I was at Membury. I'm not. I'm at Lee Delamere, where they only have the one charger. It's mental. And naturally somebody's using it and somebody else is waiting for it. So I've got no choice but to plug in to what is considered to be the Happy Shopper Lidl Par Market version of chargers. So I've plugged into it because I'm down to 13 miles. I'll do the maths and put up a graphic for it here, but I think it was something like 170 mile charge, and I think I've done about 110, which is about what this car will do on a full charge. So I'm 5.5 hours in. Oh God, I haven't done 200 miles. But here's the great bit. I know there's a guy with a Tesla now that wants to charge up as well. Anyway, that's not the important thing. The important thing is now I've plugged into this grid serve charger, much like the one in Okehampton. Come on, come up on the screen. Yeah, I don't want to start it. I want to stop it. Turn it off. There we go. There. Charging complete in 5 hours, 20 minutes. Charging at 26 miles an hour again. Yay, 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 yay. Whew. The reality of driving an EV across the country is this. If you can't use the supercharger, or if you have to stop somewhere without a supercharger or a fast charger or even a medium charger, you can wait up to 5 hours for your vehicle to charge. This is reality. This is what it is. And this is what you have to compete with if you want to go anywhere in your milk float. I am currently trying to go somewhere in my milk float and failing quite dismally. Therefore, I now need to charge up here again, just enough to get me to the next services to get a full charge, wasting another half an hour, etc, etc, etc. And that's the way it is. So there you go. Future my horse? Yeah, probably. But there's a lot of people around here now, so I've got to keep my voice down for a minute. Good luck, everybody. See, I told you this was going to be an epic video, and I wasn't lying. After, I don't know how long I've been there, 3/4 of an hour, I've managed to get the range from Lee Delamere up to 31 miles. It's 28 miles to Membury, so that I can get there and hopefully use a fast charger. That's my plan. So I am currently driving Miss Daisy and nursing this thing down the road at a steady 60 miles an hour. I mean, granted, you can probably see the speeder and see I'm doing 62 or something, but the point is that this is what I have now resorted myself to. I am holding the steering wheel, piss off. So, and now the cruise control's kicked in. I don't want it to, I don't want cruise control, bloody hell, it's the last thing I need. Now bearing in mind we're now we're coming up to hour 9 of travelling. I'm still miles from my destination, hours from my destination, and I still have to plug in again. Because the charger network in Britain isn't good enough, as I've been saying for over a year. But I know that at Membury they do have more chargers. I've just directed a very lovely lady down there who was sat patiently waiting for half an hour for the one charger in Lee Delamere to become available, and then when it did, somebody else got on it. So I said, if you've got enough, get down to Membury, you'll get more than enough to get home. And everyone's in the same boat, and I feel sorry for these people, because they've either got this car on lease or they've stupidly been out and actually potted cash for one, and they're stuck with them. And that's why I suppose I'm so happy, because I know when I dump this later on, that's it, it's gone. I mean, yeah, I will get in another one at some point, but at the moment it's not my concern, it's not my financial burden, it's everyone else's. I am just the messenger. So here we are, we're still going, we're 9 hours in, and I've done I'm coming up for 200 miles. 9 hours! 9 hours! I could have done it quicker on a horse. Everyone says, oh yes, you wouldn't have liked the motor car when horse and cart came along. Well, horse and cart is still better than a milk float. Granted, I mean, I'd have had to stop and let her have a rest. And, you know, bucket of water, a bit of hay. But she wouldn't have needed 45 minutes to do 26 miles. She would have tried on quite happily, dear of her. So there you go. I'm now on my way to Membury. The next video, we will be at Membury. Or, I'll be on the side of the road. Well, that's the thing, right? If this runs out of range before I get to Membury, I'm not going to have the luxury of being able to roll to the side of the road. It's just going to stop dead. Granted, I could flick it into neutral quickly and get a little bit of momentum just to get me across the lanes, hopefully, provided there's nothing on the inside. But that is the reality of EV-manship, milk floatery. It's shit. Absolute shit. From start to finish. So there you go. See you in a minute. Update number 53. I have arrived at Membury services. I got here with no miles to spare. The range disappeared. And as you can see, there are 4 charging points. All 4 are being used. And I think the bloke on the end might even be waiting before me. And then this bloke's turned up in that thing that you can't call it what it is. It's a Mackie. Not calling it that. Just to add to another delay to my already mightily delayed journey, is that until a charging point becomes free, I can't charge. So the time is currently, I don't even know what the time is. I've lost track of all time. Time has no meaning to me anymore. Can't even put on a long playing record.
Cheek of it. Thanks, Craig. Thanks, Robin.
Sarah Cox is on since after 4 o'clock. Where's the bloody clock in this thing? Ah, it's 4:15. Oh look, he's coming, I've got to go. You got to make the most of a bad situation. So here I am in my space, look, in my space. And when I got in that space, there were no chargers available, and I had to wait another half an hour for a charger to become available. So I've now been charging for 3/4 of an hour, and I've got 80%. But more exciting than that, and you've got to make the most of these opportunities. While I'm here, in the background, oh look, it's a Vivaro E. And there's the AA truck it's being towed onto. And they're having to tow it in a most complicated way. It's a Vivaro E, and it doesn't work properly, does it? You can't roll it or anything, so it's being winched on. It's the future. So, cut a long story short, I am now 8 hours into my journey. I am still 120 miles from my destination. My destination shut at 5, so I ain't even getting there tonight. So, another great day in the world of milk floatery. I've spent 3.5 hours of today charging. Future. There it is. He's been towed in so he can plug in because he ran out of juice on the motorway. Amazing stuff. Amazing. I might go have a yap with him. I doubt he'll say anything because it's got British Gas written all over it. But you never know. Just had a chat with a British Gas man, and he had 15 miles of range left. And I passed him on my way into this services, and he was about 2 miles short. At 15 miles, it just died. He's just plugged it in. There you are, it's plugged in. And it says 0%. So even though it said it had 15 miles of range, it didn't. Just died on the side of the road. There you go. End of story. And he's been towed here. And now he's got to sit here and charge up. Wasting yet more time. And more money. So the Vivaro E living up to its excellent reputation. And incidentally, he reckons he gets 110 mile on his range. And I said, bollocks. But still, he's getting 110. He's doing all right. Could be worse. Could be an Avito E. Anyway, I've still got... I've got 167 miles there, look. And that is more than enough to get me where I need to go. But then I've still got to go in the morning. So I'd have to charge up again in the morning. So I just as well sit here for another 22 minutes and see how much extra it gets in there. And then hopefully I won't have to charge in the morning. But I mean, let's face it, I'm going to have to charge in the morning, aren't I? And then we'll add that to the ever-growing list of videos in this feed. Brilliant. Just so I got nothing better to do. Well, I am charging waiting time, so it's not all bad. Pay for me KFC anyway. So there you go, another day in the world of milk floatery. It isn't even finished yet. And here we have it, the journey has ended. 10.5 hours after I started. 320 miles, 10.5 hours, 4 charging stops, and guess what? I've ended it with no miles of range left Future my arse.